dead.
Uh-oh.
Hey, y'all.
She's got that look on her face like someone just told her she's going to be doing this forever.
Now get ready. Here we go.
Alright, here we go. Let's talk about some rides at Disneyland. Let's get into this. Okay, I only have really one day in the park plus a couple hours the next day, so we're going to go through and get some rides in. We'll see what we can get along the way.
It's gonna be fun. Love the smell of hydraulic fluid in the morning.
Got my ride in on Star Tours. Got a couple of these rides actually. Not the best. It's quite showing its age these days. Lots of dust in the vents and things like that. Not a good thing at all.
There was no Darth Vader. There was no Kylo Ren. No, what's that one dude? That Skywalker guy.
On to Pirates of the Caribbean. Alright, this is one of my favorite rides. I love how immersive Disney's rides are. They're absolutely amazing to come on. And these are no exception to the rule. Pirates is one of the classics, one of the favorites in the park. Of course, every time I'm there, I've got to do Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder, pretty much everything. I can't really skip much in this park. It's really hard for me to do. You don't get a high thrill off of these rides, but they're so great to just sit and relax through. Pirates is like a 10-minute ride in the dark. It's nice and cool inside the building. The show building is absolutely massive. If you've never seen these show buildings, it's worth it to Google Pirates of the Caribbean show building from Google Earth, and you can just see how big these things are. They're amazing. Next up, we hopped over to the old Jungle Cruise, where I got some of my jokes that I use from now and again. This one wasn't too great this time around. Honestly, the skipper was not keeping me entertained at all. No good jokes, no good one-liners, lots of new stuff, but so I sat there and just kind of fumbled around with the FLIR camera. That gave me something to do. Checking to see how hot stuff was. This is right where the engine is in the center of the thing. Then after that, we made our way over to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Got some nice track switch operation, very cool. I like live track switches, those are always fun to watch. Also tried getting some FLIR image of this ride too. Didn't work that well, but I went on. The ride's great, love it. Not too intense, but it's Disney theming at its best. Trying to check out some hot breaks in the station while I'm waiting to get on for the next ride. So after that, we headed over to the Mad Tea Party and got in some spinning time over there. Son trying to make it go as fast as he possibly can. I had to step in and help him though, because he wasn't getting it to go fast enough. I like to get to that point where I'm just about to barf. You know that point. So after that, we headed right next door to Alice in Wonderland. Classic dark ride, one of the older dark rides, which is absolutely fantastic to go on. I'm sure this ride would be really trippy to be on if you're on some sort of drugs, for sure. Everything's moving, everything's talking, everything's got eyes, it'll see you. I'm sure some people would freak out really bad inside this ride. Fun fact, up on the top here, there's a maintenance area behind this ride. Before all the lockout, tagout, restricted area stuff, they used to walk right behind the car for people to get up to the maintenance area at the top of the ride. Line's never too long for this, but it does get about 30 minutes. But it's something I like waiting in. After that, we headed over to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That's such a great ride. Love going on this one. Lots to see, lots to do. It's great for children of all ages, including adults. Queue line's completely interactive. All the things move and light up. Get to see little things like a ghost in the mirror. Very cool. Okay, on to the big guns. The big guns is Space Mountain in this case. Disneyland only has a couple of big roller coasters, and Space Mountain's the biggest one you could possibly get. I love this ride. Who doesn't like a ride in the dark? I mean, come on, that's why we ride rides at nighttime, right? This is always in the dark, so it's great no matter what. And then you got all these little pusher assemblies all over the track. They're used everywhere instead of booster wheels. Very ingenious. I love that. but you get to watch stuff bird's eye view. You can't watch most stations bird's eye view, so it's really cool to be able to see all this stuff. Brakes and stuff working. Check this out. This is an ADA rocket getting on. These people needed extra time loading onto the track. They got it. Switch track, smooth, easy operation. Nice. Let's move that coach right on through like nothing ever happened. Very cool. See those pushers from behind, so those little things retract back there, they're pushing. Next up in line for the front row, that ADA rod was transferring back over to the other side. Very cool to be able to see that in person. Happens all the time with that ride. Son did not enjoy my commentary though. I was talking too much throughout the ride. Wonder why that happened. I don't know. He didn't like it though. Back to Fantasyland, we're gonna go on Snow White's Enchanted Wish. I know what you're thinking, right? The movie was no good. I didn't like the movie either. Yes, I did go to see the movie, didn't like it. But here's my favorite, which is some dark rides in reverse. Love watching stuff spin back around. That's fun to watch. And then from here, we headed over to Tiana's Broke Down Adventures. I love it. Looking at the boat swing around the outside here.
She's dead.
Uh-oh.
Hey, y'all.
She's got that look on her face like someone just told her she's going to be doing this forever, and she's rethinking life's decisions right now. That's an interesting look. A broke down animatronic? What? No way.
This is my shocked face.
Right? This isn't a bad ride. I mean, I'd much rather prefer Splash Mountain. I know the whole Song of the South thing wasn't great, but... And if you listen just right, you could hear Mrs. the Ride Mechanic get her shoes and everything else wet right about here.
I don't want to lose my car. I'm wet, but like I said, water rides make me wet, so.
Getting back into the final scene, I think I was spending more time looking for broken animatronics than anything else. Kind of surprising that I didn't catch them, but these new animatronics do look good when they're all working. It was a nice scene. I kind of prefer Splash Mountain, but I guess that's just the older part of me talking.
I think it's a very good runner-up for Splash Mountain. I still think Splash Mountain better, but that's because I'm biased and I grew up.
One of my all-time favorites, the Haunted Mansion. I love this ride. Ever since I was a little kid, I love going here and going on this ride.
This part.
Get to see everything. Again, it's one of those indoor, dark, nice and cool rides. And then you watch your step as you get into your doom buggy. Love the play on words. Such a great ride.
Wizards and witches, wherever you dwell.
Ballroom scene's amazing here. Giant pane of glass, top to bottom, left to right. It's massive. It's actually got a little hole in it too from where a kid shot it with a BB gun. They drew a spider web over it and hit it with a spider. That's pretty cool. But I did catch a breakdown on this one. You see that little ghost guy right there? Yeah, he's stuck. He's supposed to come up and come back down, but he's stuck up in the air. Alright, moving on to It's a Small World. I finally got on that day. Liked recording some stuff. This is all just a lot of little tiny motors and stuff working all over the place, but one thing I like to watch on this ride when I go on it is I just like to look down and see what's going on at the bottom. The parts nobody ever looks at, you know? I look down, I look backwards, I look in areas people don't normally think about. Get to see underneath the curtain there and look at their dry dock area in the back of the ride. That's cool. See where they work on the boats and stuff like that. The simplistic nature of this ride is really nice. Next I went on to Autopia. My wife drove, of course.
Suspicious.
This was my face. Now, normally in our dynamic, pretty much I drive all the time. I drive almost everywhere we go. So for her to drive, it's an unusual thing for me.
Just got off Autopia. As you can see, Mrs. the Ride Mechanic was driving. And that was like... I could have died!
Since we were in the Tomorrowland area, we stopped off over at Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters. I got the L4 score. It's kind of where I normally place on this one. I think I'm fairly good at it. Not the best. We actually did make it over to Smuggler's Run. We didn't go on rides at the downtime this trip, but we did do Smuggler's Run, so at least we did one thing in the Star Wars Land merchandising area. Okay, from here, we headed over to Indiana Jones. Now, this is Son's favorite ride, and this is one of my favorite rides, too. I know, Ryan, you got a lot of favorite rides at Disneyland. It's like, yeah, I do. I grew up there. We go there at least once a year, probably, so I got a lot of good rides here. But if you're on Indiana Jones, make sure you use both sides of the staircase. Don't get stuck on one side. This ride is so cool. I would have loved to have been able to get on it before they had to tame it down for insurance reasons. 'Cause that looked pretty cool, honestly. Got the front row. As a bonus, Son got to drive, which was pretty cool. Okay, and then from here we moved on to Fantasyland, Peter Pan's Flight. Another classic oldie but goodie ride. It's amazing how well they keep these rides running. Of course, it's not the original ride. They've rebuilt it like 30 times since the ride was originally put in. New track, new motors, new coaches, new everything. So we moved on from there to Dumbo. Yep, Dumbo's Flight. We rarely ever go on these rides over here, so we had some time, so we're like, let's go on them. And I got my butt in there, tried playing with the controls.
Thanks for riding with me.
Next we moved on to Winnie the Pooh. This is a newer dark ride. Filmed a little bit on here. It's kind of dark ride where it drives off the center track. Lots of black lights. And if you pass through the right part, you can look up and backwards and you'll see the old Country Bears Jamboree, Melvin and them up above you overhead, but you have to look right there and you'll see them. It's one of the hidden Mickeys around the ride. We were supposed to go back on Tiana's Broke Down Adventures, but it was broken down, so we couldn't go on again. But that's okay. I guess we'll save it for another time. Plenty more breakdown credits to get on that ride. Next up, we're going to Storybook. Next up, we're going to Casey Jr.'s train. This is a kid's train. We spent a lot of time this trip doing things that we don't normally do, and we don't normally go and spend a ton of time in Fantasyland, especially on these smaller rides. The last time I rode on this, probably 23 years ago. It's an interesting little train though. I mean, it uses a diesel engine to help it get around the track because it's not quite graded like a roller coaster, but it has a lift hill like a roller coaster. It uses guide wheels and some upstop catches. So it's very interesting. It's kind of a roller coaster, kind of not, but because of the engine, I would say it's a powered ride. Honestly, I'd put this in a powered dark ride category. Not quite a roller coaster, because if you turn that engine off, basically I don't think it'll make it around the track at all. And last we hit the Storybook Land Canal Boats. This is a ride that I've only been on a couple times as I gotten older, but it's nice to see. Alright, that's going to do it for this trip. Like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff downstairs. It does help me out. I do appreciate it. And as always, stay off the air gates. Bye.